Hello, Midnight Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Lobotomy Corporation with me, BlueAnkylo. We've been having some fun technical difficulties today, but we're still trying to truck on through. We have a new abnormality and a new department in the record team. So we've got another Wah, and we will have Pixel in our new set of armor, the Mimicry armor and the Greed Power Gauntlet, or Infinity Gauntlet. We'll see how that works. We also need to get the sword, of course, the eyeball sword. So that's on the agenda for the day. And that's really the only two agendas. Other than that, it's just stats and see if we can make it to the Midnight Ordeal. I'm fairly confident we can get to it. But whether or not we survive, it depends on which one we get, I suppose. Now, we might see at noon a Violet Ordeal that kills all our employees, well, all our janitors, and then we'll have a couple chain reaction breakouts, and then that kind of ruins our day, but yeah, we'll try to get through all that. Other than that, oh, I just upgraded some employees. We didn't recruit anyone new this time around. I spent my spare points to upgrade stats, because we're kind of out of gear. I consider, at the level we're at, I figure HE gear is about as weak as I'm happy with. If we're going to be fighting Wah and Aleph, Ordeals, essentially, Dusk and Midnight are Wah and Aleph, you really don't want people with Teth equipment. I mean, we've got one, but it's just not ideal. So Zayn or Teth is just not really cool anymore. People need more Wah and Aleph, and HE's okay, but you got to be careful. All right, that said, let's get to work. Chad is already predicting a grand murder of everyone. In fact, just for chat, let me set this up. Just a little pause for the future tubers here. We're going to set up some betting for the... Did I lose all my betting settings? Oh, come on. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. I have to reset it all. It didn't save my my gambling. I was going to gamble on how many people would survive the day. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that right now. So we got a cool new section. This place is actually really neat looking. The basement stuff, I feel like, has some of the neatest aesthetics in the game. So, this is the record department. How many employees do we have? Named employees? I didn't count, but 3, 6, 9, 12. Then was it 2 each up here? That's 8. We got around 21, 22 maybe? How many out of 22? Let's see. So what am I doing? We're gonna start with this guy. We're finally not in a rush. Let's learn about this new bird. We got bird number 3. Pixel, go say hello to bird number 3. We have traditionally had good success with insight on the birds. Both the annoying bird and the tall bird responded kindly to insight. So let's check it out. I haven't actually done like a new abnormality research in quite a while. And if he dies, you know, I'll probably just restart. Once upon a time, the legend said those who obtain its feather will be granted fortune and trials. Now, it seems to be doing red damage and 0 because of our amazing armor. Sometimes it heals wounded employees. That's also convenient. So I have to say insight doesn't seem super awesome. It might be happy if employees act like they're hunting it. Well, that gives me a bit of a better idea, though. You know, 14, it could have been worse, right? Plus, we get the bonus from Yasad of actually 18. Let's, that's a lot of tips. That's 35 points to get that. Let's guess instinct. It's pretty likely, I figured. Insight seemed okay. Let's try attachment. On some of the birds, attachment's good. It probably likes instinct, yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's try this again. More points. Of course, minus 4%, but it should be okay. We'll speed it up a little bit while we learn, while we do science. I mean, it doesn't seem like it can even damage pixels, so it feels like this is fairly safe. Also, it's a great abnormality that heals people, so nothing to worry about. But yeah, I figure If it likes hunting, it's also still an animal. Instinct's a good safe bet there. Alright, we got ourselves green. So that's a better score. Now, it does look a little different in there. It's maybe getting a little hot. Let's learn its name. Yeah. It's Fiery Bird. So we've got Annoying Bird, Tall Bird, and Fiery Bird. I guess it's Little Bird, technically, but it's pretty annoying. So red damage, 18 is good. We just barely got that good. And it's definitely a wall. Let's learn, like, Insight we started with. Yeah, so we actually started with a very bad choice right off the bat. Even though it seems fair, but it kind of looks like a Phoenix. We'll send Pixel in, you know, 1 or 2 more times. For science. It might cook him a little bit. But if it does red damage, you know, he can take a lot of red damage. Also, there's something about this feather that sounds pretty interesting. Might be happy, yeah, if they act like they're hunting it. Looks like Pixel's doing even better this time. He's improving! 21 points, pretty solid. Scientific episode? Well, it's been a while. We used to get all these all the time. This is like the main part of the game is doing science. And then we had all those quests and timers and stuff. Alright, so he has a clip off of 1. Now, is that what he started at or what he's at currently with all the fire? Is perhaps the question. Oh, you know, if we had 1 more point, we could go 2 more observation levels. Let's just pick that up for now. And let's start getting some tips to see what's going on, right? So the counter decreases when another abnormality in his department escapes. Well, at the moment, that doesn't matter. But we'll have to keep an eye on that later. Good thing to not have around other chain reaction things that escape all the time. I would not want this thing to be next to the orchestra, for instance. When the work result was good, counter decreases. So we've also done that twice, I think. And then when the work result was moderate, the counter decreases at a low chance, about maybe 25%. The lower it is, the more damage you take. Okay. Now, like I said, I have seen this thing before, so I kind of know what it does. And because I kind of know what it does, I'm just going to kind of send some people down this way. That'll be fine. It's only a wall, right? While we're sciencing it up, we'll just send some backup. That should be enough. I have confidence in the A-team. So yeah, I think you can pretty much deduct that it started at 3 and every good dropped it down by 1. Although our neutral might have, which would mean it started at 4. But I think it's probably a 3, 2, 1 kind of countdown. And he's looking a little bit spicy. We got a fiery bird that's escaped. Before we fight it, let's learn some more about it. Alright, so what have we learned? When the work result was bad, the counter goes up. So there is a way to keep it from escaping if you care. And you have someone who can do that. Fiery Bird grants light to the employee who worked when the counter was at 1. So it kind of sounds like Pixel might have got lit up. The employee's physical and mental health were healed and regenerates. That's pretty nice. When Pixel has less than 20% HP, the bird also gives them the healing light. So that's nice. It's a friendly bird. When escaped, Fiery Bird returned willingly to its containment chamber after a short time. It does get aggressive if you damage it. And if you... the employee whose HP or SP reaches 0... So, HP would always kill you. This is kind of redundant. But even if it kills you via sanity damage, you're dead. Mind you, it doesn't do sanity damage. So, whatever. When Fiery Bird is attacked, the eyes of the employee are burned. The blind employees have to complete work at half speed. This is terrible if you're on that cheese timer. Fiery Bird does cure the injury when you finish the work, though. And he's got some pretty sweet looking gear, even if some of the stats aren't amazing. But 2 WAs sound good to me. But what about the weapon, you say? Well, I mean, you can probably read about it. Okay, we did bring everybody down here for some reason. Look, if we can suppress 3 Alephi's, why should we be worried about a fiery bird? We're taking a bit of fire damage, but... How did... Well, maybe this was a bad idea. I thought Jelka would be fine. It must have done like a huge sanity hit there somehow. I thought I understood the bird. Oh, that's it. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's got a cool charge attack. Good point. Good point. I told you this was all about science. This was the episode of science. So when it does its charge attack, it does sanity damage. Normally red, except for that part. Well, look, I'm trying to play it as if it's new, and it is... I did forget some details. You know, meanwhile, everything goes wrong. So that's how it is. It's fine. Now we know. I sort of remember, like, the basics, and then, like, the inner details are always lost. It's been, like, however many weeks it's been since I actually saw the bird. I'm like, I know it does something. We'll just have to science it up. Anyway, I'm sure we can defeat it if we want to. Or you could just let it go back to its nest. Anyway, for now, let's just speed this up a little bit. We're still going to keep working on it, but we might not fight it today. Because if you don't attack it, it doesn't attack you. Does that count as half the team? It would have... See, the thing is, we would have had a full base loss, probably. The A team was dead. Nothing there was out. It was over. Game over. That was everyone dead. Forgetting about the nuke. Well, look, I'm no professional Lobotomy Corporation expert. I know some of the stuff, but definitely not all of it. Look at that success rate. It's amazing. Alright, so we want to keep working on this guy as well, with old Robert. Now, if we keep getting goods, the bird will escape a lot quicker, to be fair. I was kind of hoping that the percentages, like the one thing I was kind of thinking was, if it always drops on a good, if we could get the percentages down a little bit, then maybe we'd start getting neutrals and we have a little bit more time to work on it before it broke free, but that didn't work out. That's a good success. Oh yeah, don't forget, we're trying to click this button. So while we're sciencing it up, I don't know how many times I want to work nothing there per meltdown, but 2 times maybe is okay. Go click this thing. We have more science to do. Looks like we actually did get a neutral, but I think it dropped the counter anyway. Alright, Pixel. You can release the bird. It's alright. Now, I wonder if you use the rabbit team on it. There might be a reward for defeating it if it escapes. Because legend says that those who get its feather will be granted fortune in trials. But I wonder if the rabbit team gets it if they get the kill. That's a fine success there, Robert. Okay, so we click this thing once. A light turns off and energy is charged for every work. Perfect. We should watch what happens. It's a totally safe clock. There's no reason I'm throwing randos into it. 2 lights. Let's just get this done. 3 lights. Alright? 3 lights. Backwards clock. Nothing happens when an employee whose level is lower than 3 worked on it. Well, this guy is level 4, so that doesn't matter. Oh. Well, now it's all flashy, weird colors. After every light is turned on, which is now, backwards clock can be activated. However, backward clock can only be operated once a day, so use caution. Only once? Is it ready? Okay, fiery bird escape. We're just going to ignore it. If you don't... Clock has gone haywire. 1719. Well, we're learning so much today. I've never seen that happen before. I've used the clock all the way up to the final tick before, but maybe I had a lower level employee. I think that's the problem, is level 4 is the wrong level. Employees under level 5 are strictly forbidden. That's what happened. Yeah. I must have had a lower level employee the last time I saw it. If you're lower than 2, nothing will happen. So then you can just learn about it, basically. Alright. The science continues. Let the sciencing continue today. At least we didn't have to learn about that in the middle of our triple Aleph suppression quest, right? That would have been worse. You should always start your day with some science. So what I'll do instead here is Had can take a break. I can technically recruit a person and drop their stats down. And it doesn't cost any points to drop their stats. So we'll make sure they're level 1. And we'll send them into their doom. Oops, not that. Of course, you can't undo that. Ah! Alright, hire. We got Gonzalez, the Lobi. 3rd time's a charm. Alright, you just keep working on it, Pixel. I know you've learned a lot about this bird already, but this time we're going to focus on the clock. I will admit this was not a great start to our day. Alright, push the button. Alright, he pushes the button, nothing happens. See, that's the difference. Well, I think it... Does it still light up? No, it doesn't even light up. So low-level employees, I guess, are safer to train on this thing. Because it can't do anything. Level 4 is about as bad as it could be. I guess level 3 or 4 would cause the problem. Level 5 might do what it's supposed to do, but level 1 and 2 just get ignored. So, it's kind of a trade-off. But we'll get it all researched up and we'll be fine. Alright, we need a couple more uses and then we can forget about it. Or it'll turn out to be an amazing tool. What do you guys think? Those of you who haven't already seen this game, what do you think Backward Clock would do? So far we've seen it drive people crazy. But that was clearly a malfunction. That's number 7. Number 8. One more try after that. And this will probably let the bird out. We'll keep an eye on the bird this time. And the final click, without anything bad happening. A not charged clock. So, Gonzalez survives. Everyone else survives. Employees with level 5 or more can operate the clock normally. Backward Clock will send everyone except the employee who activated it to the most peaceful time of that day. So I've never successfully used it, but you do need to charge it up to 4 and then use a level 5 employee. And that employee is gone forever. And theoretically it rewinds time, like a backwards clock doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You can only use it once, so... I would assume it reverts back before anything escaped or any trumpets or anything like that, but I don't know. I don't really know the rules. That's some serious sciencing to do if you want to figure out all the rules for the clock. So let's see how the bird works if we ignore it. This is science number 3 of the day. Also, I just want to see, how much would it cost? Low openness. We can't even send down there. But if I remember correctly, if you don't attack it, well, the janitors are going to die. But you should be fine. It's kind of like Annoying Bird, except it does a little bit more damage and kills all your janitors. That's actually kind of bad for us, to be honest. It may have been better to try to suppress it. Because we're losing a lot of ticks on our janitor counter. But I think our employee... Well, See, look at that. Even a level 1 employee survived, technically. But yeah, janitors are toast. We just lost, like, all of our bullet ammo, basically, there. I think we're up to at least 10. Anyway, he's heading on home, nice and safe. So, should we try again and then try to suppress him without... Maybe I should just try to learn how to do the fight. Because long term, like, we can suppress this guy. We can suppress this guy. Technically, we can suppress that girl. But we don't want all the janitors to die in the process. Let's just get 2 more jobs on it, and then I'll decide after that's done. Oh, I should have done this first, because you'd get better results, technically. You know, better speed and percentages. I got lazy. Punishing birds out. We're gonna work on nothing there one more time while we're here. You should be fine. You should be fine. And then we're gonna talk about fighting this one thing. Maybe I should only send people with Aleph gear in there, or... See, I think Jelka... Was Jelka the first one to die last time? Probably because weak to white. Probably was Jelka that was the first one to go. Sorry, Jelka. Wah, but strong to red and white should be okay. Grotham, pretty strong wall equipment. Should be good enough. I'll be using bullets, so don't worry. This time I'll be a little bit more careful. Mia, welcome to the underground. Head on down. But I'm not going to send people in HE gear, basically. If they're weak to red or white, it's going to be a bad idea. I'm expendable for science. Well, I mean, it's true. Everyone's expendable for some sciencing, but... I would generally prefer to keep my higher level employees alive. And I kind of want you to gain some stats rather than dying. So why don't you go say hello to Little Red and work on your SP's kind of low. There you go, Jelka. Give you something to do. Alright, once Robert's done, we'll send him on down. The other birds, pecking people, of course. So we're going to need some micromanagement with this bird. It's good practice. You know, I'm not a huge... I've said this before. I'm not a huge fan of trying to micromanage all your fights, but there's some reason to practice it a bit. Jelka can do one more trip there. And then the next trip here should set that off. Oh yeah, I should keep buying stuff. Alright, we have a fully researched bird. So you only need 100 more points to get the armor, both armors. But how do you get the weapons? I wonder how you get a fiery bird weapon. Can you guys guess how you get a weapon out of this bird? Maybe a feather out of it? I mean, to be fair, he does have a low % odd to drop a feather of honor. So he might have something to do with that. But low percents. This game doesn't do a lot of that, generally, other than optional side stuff. It's not like games where you need to get that 1% drop to make progress, thankfully. So everybody down here, you guys are going to be okay, right? You'll totally be okay. Let's see, where do we want to fight? We heal more in this room, but it might be nice to have everyone kind of right by the wall to kind of teleport if he does his attack. Which, you know, he will definitely get to. Also, we're getting pretty big penalties here. Come on, Pixel. Did he lose his hair to get burned off? Was he always bald? We don't have the abnormality that causes baldness. 10 would have actually increased his counter. He's sparkling now. So it should be like some odds to escape at normal. Did not escape. Why don't we set off our first meltdown, and then we'll do that. I think a lot of people need some repression work right now. Because I spent all my... I spent so many lobotomy points on raising our base stats. Let's have Casco and Chubby do the robots for justice. The expensive stat. And then hopefully we've got a couple people to cover whatever melts down. Army in pink and something we can ignore. So, or black, whatever. So who's up here? What do you think, Turkey? You resist white damage. HE versus Aleph? Eh. Alright, Hades. See you later. Good luck with your haircut. I'm just gonna watch this. To be fair, if she does panic, or he does panic, it's not so bad. I just need to be paying attention. And it looks like there should be nothing to worry about. You know, we could also slow the fiery bird down. They never get your hair right. I don't get my hair cut very often these days. I kind of have gone for a little bit longer hair than I used to when I was young. Alright. Pixel. Let's do it. On the plus side, there's no janitors to die in this area. On the downside, there's lots of employees to die. Hopefully we can figure this out. I think it's just going to take a little bit of micro. And if we can suppress it, that'll be great. Alright, we've got a fiery bird. He has escaped. Alright. I'm gonna start in this room just so that I can give everyone... Is the shield per person when it breaks? I don't even know. He won't attack until we attack. So we can get everybody in here and then click him. Also slow him down. Alright, so we gotta watch out for his special. That's the special. It seems to do white damage. So we're gonna try a white shield. And everybody that's near him is gonna, like, book it. Because we're not gonna dodge it this way. We're gonna go through it quickly, I hope. It definitely did white damage. So let's just leave him in here for a second. Get him out of the heat. Well, that said... Some people could probably tank it in there. If you've got the right armor. Like, I haven't taken any damage. I've got a ranged weapon. Drow can probably stay in and shoot it. Pixel can probably stay in there. Rides. Anybody with Aleph armor is probably fine to keep it going. Grotham seemed to have dodged it. But a lot of these other people are pretty injured. Now we're taking some tick damage here. This is a bad hallway, to be honest. I shouldn't have followed it in, just because it's so far away. This is probably the longest hallway we've got. Also, what is it weak to? I never even checked. Weak to black. Resistant to white and red. Very weak to blue. Pale. So I'm kind of hoping that it can't do its little travel thing twice. That is a lie. Alright. We're just slowly burning. Everybody in here has had some time to heal, at least. I gotta keep an eye on them, though. We do have 10 bullets left. You guys gonna fight the bird? The bird's gonna fight you one way or the other, so get at it. It's all grouped up in there. Let's try another white shield. So we got him halfway down. So he does a little handstand. And then he does his attack. So if you were really trying to micro, you could probably see the handstand and try to move out of the way. If you can predict which direction. I would prefer you didn't really stand right under him, though. Alright, nobody's dead. There's definitely some serious sanity damage, though. Alright, hopefully we can finish it off before it does the attack again, or anybody dies. I wish I could see HP a bit clearer, though. So Rides is about halfway dead. Mia's probably the weakest right now. Mia's the one up front. There you go, Mia. A little bit of HP for you. Alright, kill it quick before it attacks. Gotcha. There you go, guys. Easy. Easy. It's definitely not really easy, but there you go. The stream gone? What? Sorry, future tubers. Internet is actually at 0%. 0 kbps for a couple seconds there. It should be coming back up for those of you on YouTube. Oh, it does a little AoE explosion too, so you gotta get a run out of the way. Maybe I'll never be a streamer. I'll just be a YouTube recorder for life. It's the only way I can play. Alright, it looks like some bits are going out to you guys again. Let me just say hello to chat. So probably the live chat missed the finale there. They don't know how that resulted. We should just pretend everybody's dead. Hey guys, everybody's dead. Sorry. Nobody survived. No, you're all dead. There's just blood everywhere. Pixel was the only survivor. Complete wipe from one fiery bird. Don't look over here. There's nothing in there. Alright, well, the stream seems to be picking up slowly. I'm just going to keep playing for now. I don't know what's going on. Looks like we can afford one of our cool armors. You see a lot of char stains. The good news is nobody actually died. I would like to get the second wall armor, and then we'll probably be done messing around with research. And besides, we'll probably all die to one of our ordeals anyway, so... Why am I getting so attached to this run when we're all going to get chomped on by super robots? I mean, we haven't even seen the dusk ordeals very successfully yet, so how are we ever going to survive at midnight? I think we've only seen one dusk so far, and it was the amber one, so giant worms, and we just sort of waited them out. Alright, probably need one more bird. Yeah. That'll put him at 1, but... Honestly, at this point we can probably let him out without too much trouble, because all the janitors are dead. So it's not so bad. We might only be 1 away from this, too. Probably 2 more, but... Alright, let's do a little bit of training while I'm waiting around. I do like being able to kind of forget about things a little bit and just focus on the stats sometimes, because, I don't know, I kind of like the progression of people gaining strength through practice kind of thing. Like, yeah, I just always kind of like that. Fella 2.0, getting up there. That's the correct number of works. So we'll have ourselves a little Crimson Dawn starting here shortly. The first of the ordeals of the day. Who lets all these worms, robots, and clowns in the facility? It has not been explained to me. I don't know. There are... I don't know if they technically classify as abnormalities. I think they might. They just aren't contained. They are loose, wild abnormalities that just cause havoc every so often. Maybe Angela sets them out for us, basically. I wouldn't be surprised. Angela seems to cause all the employee death around this place. Oh, before we set them loose, let's move our people to my favorite layers. Alright, we should have a decent workforce for fighting off some clowns. We'll let loose the birds of war. Chubby Cat will let loose the birds of war. Perfect, perfect. Alright. We've seen this guy 1,000 times. Not too much hassle. Heck, the janitors can probably handle it eventually, but we can do better than that. Double team down here. Look at that. Double the fun. Looks like blue team's clowns didn't show up along with white team. So, oh, that's where they are. We got two doubles. We got a double here and a double there. Well, we don't want the wolf getting out, so this guy is still our first priority. And then we'll deal with that one after. And honestly, they're still just, they're trash tier enemies. He might let this guy out, I don't know. Nope, even that was too quick. Did I miss one? I think this one teleported down. Or we just didn't notice it. Another one jumped, maybe. These clowns are pretty annoying. Look at this. Like 1 HP, he jumps away. Alright. I think Robert or Faith managed to finish it off. Alright, we're back to only angry mountains. I wonder if we should just try to let the mountain out to suppress it. Just let some employees die. Suppress the mountain. The army in black we can fix by other suppression. Actually, if I was gonna do that, we'd probably want to reset Little Red first. We could do that. Let's talk after this one. We'll see what I want to see what the noon ordeal is, and then I'll figure out how I want to handle those guys. That's this plan of attack. Alright. Is anyone sitting around looking for something to do? Alright. Turkey needs some insight, actually. You can only work night... The first person can only work the Night of Despair once, which is kind of unfortunate, but... Grotham is really quite well statted out, so he can do that, and then the rest of the team can work on that. Army in black, do you think these guys can survive? You think Turkey can survive? I think we've sent in an HE with white resistance in there a couple times. Hades is the new one for the mountain, too. There you go. Moving on up. Moving on up. Jelka's new down here. I'm trying to keep Jelka away from the Bird of Judgment just because of the weird pale damage being kind of annoying, but those guys are fine, and we'll just get some random stats for people that need justice. I do try to prioritize these robot trainers the most, I feel. I gotta be careful who I send to the wolf, though. Okay, nothing to worry about, probably. Probably nothing to worry about. Okay. Got armor. Is there another way that the counter goes up? I bet it goes up. I thought I had to take it down to 1 to get that armor. Maybe I just miscounted. Huh. Oh well, no big deal. And this should be our cool swords. Huzzah! We now have, I think, all the equipment we can get at the moment. So it'd be a real shame if we lost it all to the Midnight Ordeal. A real shame. Crying shame. Come on, somebody deal with the bird, please. Alright, so let's just keep this moving. It's going to be a long day at this rate. Okay. We'll let those works complete, I suppose. Oops, don't look at Schadenfreude. Probably just about let it loose there, actually. Gotta be careful. Gotta be smart. Don't get lazy just because we're not on a timer anymore, Blue. Don't be lazy. Alright, let's get our meltdown. Chubby cat can let it go. Alright, we got a not too bad one. It'll probably kill some it'll definitely kill some employees though. So we probably, what I'm thinking here is we probably want to release an abnormality, trigger a little red, and maybe handle the mountain as well before we deal with that, is what I'm thinking. So first off, Faith is our special operator, and this guy is at level 2, so we can kind of ignore the rules there for now. I sent Hades in last time, and he obviously survived. So there you go. And these two are mad. Unfortunately, that's the King of Greed. We've got a repression for rides, which is, I assume, our best chances. Yeah, and we're just training some stats on Little Red for the moment. Oh, don't miss the army in black. Mia can definitely survive that. Did I get them all? We're starting to get quite a lot of areas where abnormalities can melt down, so keeping an eye on everything is a little bit tricky. Just a little tricky. Also, it'd be nice to have energy so that if one of the ordeals is terrible, we can just back out, basically. I mean, I'd love to finish everything today, like the quest, but we did not get a good. Friggin' King of Greed every time, every time. Alright. Changes things. So I hate that King of Greed, guys. I hate that king. So the king's out. Little Red's out. That means the mountain will be out. Probably. Better get some backup up here. It's fairly likely this will also break out. I mean, I said I wanted to let some of these out, right? What's Little Red weak to? Not white. Not anything. From bad to fatal. There's no guarantee we're dead yet. We've got a lot of A-team members to hold these guys down. Little Red's going to be the most annoying right off the bat. Let's get this started. Alright, we need to get in there. And we need to not die immediately. Let's have Daubry, if I can select you, spin her around. Alright. So now we just got to keep him alive down here. Don't forget, though, the King of Greed is out, so that's another thing to worry about. We might have a solid way of getting all the janitors killed right now. Because they're all going to die. So where is the King of Greed anyway? There it is. So Pixel, you gotta make sure you run, but there's not much we can do about this one right now. There's not a lot of janitors over here to get eaten, so we can ignore it for the moment. This guy will be out in no time. Okay, focus on Little Red. She's tough, but so are we. I have to use some bullets, of course, but... Okay, we have some backup. Let's put a red shield on Dobry. That might be enough, but I have to keep an eye on that. But that should be contained. This thing is just going to eat janitors for lunch. Mountain's not out yet. If we can suppress Little Red before the army gets out, that would be ideal. I mean, there shouldn't be any janitors dying in the next few seconds. Dobry, you're fine. Alright, good. Good, good, good. Now, get your butt over here. The trouble is, tying this thing down is going to be a real pain in the neck. A real fat pain in the neck. Because it's going to just teleport around. Unless you can attack it from behind, it's a real bother. So we're going to want... primarily... Oh, also, Hades' work speed is not great from fighting the bird. We want an anti-mountain team. Also, we did have Army in Black back up to level 2. So if we can suppress the King of Greed, that will stop that. And Little Red will have a 3 count again. So basically, we're just watching where this thing teleports. Alright, so there should be a new portal somewhere. And I'm hoping it's somewhere that we can actually get to with some firepower. I guess I should have grouped up my top teams. Maybe the... Oh, there it is. That's not bad. I've seen much worse for spawning King of Greeds. Well, anybody that was there is dead, but... Maybe if the janitors would stop running into its maw, this would be a little bit better. Alright, get in there. Suppress. I don't think we have any big danger from behind. It's just a matter of DPSing it down. Oh, it is immune to red. I hope that doesn't mean it heals it. I'm not actually sure. So does anyone not have red damage? Problem with the B team is everyone deals red damage. The best weapon is a red claw. So we've got 2 people with white spears. Wow. Is that really everybody? Well, that sucks. I didn't prepare for that very well. Well, the music calmed down. It doesn't heal from red, it's just immune. Well, we still want to keep them out of the... Man, you blink and the friggin' janitors. He's not out yet. But we're just not dealing much damage here. So he's got to teleport somewhere better than this. Let's bring them down here. So where's the portal? Please be downstairs, honestly. We just can't kill him with the B team. Wonder if I should push my luck. Oh, by the way. The mountain's out. The mountain's out. That's fine. These guys, I'm sure, can handle it. He's not that bad in Form 1. The main thing would be, don't let the King of Greed spawn and eat everybody. Where is it, anyway? It's invisible. It's just... There's a lot of hallways to check. Oh, there we go. Well, that's friggin' great. Okay, janitors, you really need to stop this. I don't want another thing getting out. Thing is, we're not going to do any damage to it here. Again, I've got the wrong team. I wonder... White. Maybe just 2 people there? You might be able to make it in time, just because they're the closest, the next closest. Okay, the good news is mountain is suppressed, which means that's +1 to the army in black counter, so we're probably not going to see this thing escape. And if we do manage to finish the King of Greed off before too much longer, he'll be back up to 3. Everything will be mostly reset, except Little Red, but at least we don't have to worry about her escaping again. I thought for sure someone up here must have had more than... Red, red. Red, red. White, red. White, white. So there should be someone else. Where's Jean-Mathieu? We lost him somewhere. He should be helping. He's got a good gun for this. He's not in there. There we go. This will make a big difference. You guys keep it slowed down. We got someone with a real gun doing actual damage. And then now we've got some of our A team showing up. Maybe we can kill him here after all. Just keep him slowed. Keep him slowed. Doesn't last very long, but... Man, white is not very good either, honestly. We need the black damage here. Yeah, definitely not ideal. 1 bullet left. What do you think? I think he's gonna escape. But it's gonna be close, I think. We did not get it. But it was close. Alright. Where'd he go? Close enough that... That's a crappy place. Alright, Faith. This one's kind of on you. Because we're out of bullets now. So we can't really slow him down anymore. But we got the A-team on the case. Yeah, he's dead. There's no way he's getting out of this one. We're too fast. These guys are too fast. You can see the problem with even a ranged weapon that shoots very slowly. The monster still moves out of the way, and then you're like in your firing animation, and then you stop and move closer, and then stop and then move closer, and you just never actually do anything. Anyway, that was a little bit hectic, but we survived. There needs to be an everyone go home button. You know, like you can click each department and send that department home. There should just be a massive all departments return button. That'd be very handy now. Okay, I'm just letting people walk home while I think here for a second. So we're fine. We're fine. The only thing to keep track of is Little Red's down a little bit. Everybody else should be maxed out. Not counting the bird. Okay, let's just get back to training, I guess. This is probably enough for Faith. She probably doesn't need to come up here too many more times to that one. And work on the wolf a little bit. Good old robots. You can see Jean-Mathieu, he needs some red training too. Got to get him over on that wolf soon. You know what? The Snow Queen isn't bad for red. It's just better for insight is all. And neutrals mean you can get frost kissed, of course. So there's that. get some energy here relatively quick, because I know I wasted a lot of time there. Well, I say wasted, but you know what I mean. It took a while. That's... I definitely want to prepare for the ordeal. 2 more. Okay. And then the next one will trigger it, so we'll let everyone finish. Looks like we probably wouldn't be able to get enough... We weren't able to get enough energy to prevent this anyway. Even if that was something you were thinking I should try. That was not really an option. At least... Well... You know... Technically, we did. I didn't think we'd make it, but just made it there. Cool. Okay, so... Another ordeal that can kill a fair number of janitors. We'll get our... bullet recharge at least. And honestly, letting a lot of janitors die isn't the worst thing we could do. Although we lose some stats for it. It might be better to do one more cycle of releases before we get to the dusk or midnight ordeals, right? Maybe. Anyway, let's start with Punishing Bird with... I'll let Cass go do it. One of our Twitch viewers who may or may not have made the migration over to YouTube. You never know. Alright. So far we've been getting 4 of these attacks at once. So 1 down here. 2, 3, 4. That's a little one. This one's a little bit out of the way. They do black damage. I think Pixel will be okay for a while, so we'll send them in there. We will try to get him some backup fairly quick. But I think I want to clean up these guys first, so we're still going to go attack. We'll attack these guys, and then this group will come help Pixel out. And we will send another sort of pincer attack to this group. And then the upside team can all work together, and I've seen them succeed on this before, so they should be okay. We'll lose some more janitors, but like I was saying, maybe that's all for the best. He does attack pretty quick. I wonder... Where does it say... You know his weapon has that... Oh, look at that! He even got... I didn't even notice that. He got the rare drop on, like, day 1 there. That's pretty cool. Good job, Pixel. He got the rare drop. There is, like, a bonus debuff, debuff, when your claws activate that makes you do double damage. But I think it's, like, lower temperance. So I think you'd see these stats affected when it triggers. And you'd be doing double that, theoretically. Also, he's got a special critical he does. Okay, these weapons are friggin' awesome. Infinity Gauntlet, look at that. It attacks... Oh, now he's doing double damage. Look at that. That's ridiculous. I didn't realize these were those... That's powerful. Pixel just wipes the floor with these things. And he's got a debuff for a couple minutes, but that's not even that bad. That's amazing. Very good. Okay. You know, that actually changes my opinion on the King of Greed a little bit. Because I hate this thing. It breaks out all the time. But because of that awesome weapon... yeah, that helps. That definitely helps. Give me beautiful weapons and I'll be a little bit less salty. Alright. Mountains down to 1. Army's down to 1. How do we want to do it? We can escape at any point if we need to. But we want to get to midnight, right? We want to try to get to midnight. I want to at least see what the midnight ordeal is before I decide if we have any chance. Because I'd hate to waste a day now. It takes so long to get to midnight. To get there and die would be really sad. Alright. Well, for now, I'll just keep training stats, I guess. No point being lazy. Keep the upstairs busy. Oh, Gonzalez doesn't really count. Punishing birds out. That's nothing to worry about. As far as I know, Punishing Bird has never killed a janitor. I really should just leave someone in that hallway, though. That's my mistake. Ah! I was looking at Punishing Bird, and in the corner, Schadenfreude broke out. Alright, that was a mistake. Don't worry, though. As much as it sounds scary, he's pretty easy. All you gotta do is stop looking at it. You just hear the fighting off in the distance, but it's nothing to worry about. For a challenge, you can fight him while he's actually active, and it'd be a lot more interesting, but I still don't think it would matter too much. At this point, we can send the Aleph team to deal with him even in his final form. If you had that thing right in the middle, it would really suck. Yeah, no doubt about it. I was kind of glad we got him in the corner. That should be it for him. Yeah, he's back in his cage. You can look at him when you're not working on him. It's just... yeah, that thing's annoying. It's not that hard to handle. He's just a bit annoying. Alright, we got, what, 3 more jobs or so? Let's send the control team down for a little bit of justice. Just don't look at them. It's relatively important. I think we proved Turkey could work on this thing, and it's pretty good value for his SP, you know. You definitely gain much more stats working on the Alephs than you would on the low level abnormalities. In case you're wondering, I tend to prioritize stat gains on the high level abnormalities if I can. It's a very angry bird. Alright. Oh, I forgot to move my downstairs team back to position. Alright, so it's crunch time. Let's set it off with 1 sin. And we're gonna set it up so we're always waiting in here for Bird to get out, I think. When he's done, he'll go back. Anyway, what do we get? 9 ordeals and then an orange dust. So or an amber dust. It's funny that we got the same one we had before. So this is manageable, albeit a little bit scary with janitor dying. But we can certainly handle it. Maybe I should have spent my bullets before I set the meltdown and just janitored some away. Just cleaned it up a little bit, right? Okay, so we got a lot of Alephs down here getting cranky. I think we need to use faith on this guy or he'll escape, and that means if he escapes, Little Red will escape. So I'd like to prevent that. Couple tools we don't care about. Are we gonna have the same problem again? We might. It's just luck. There's no way, like, there's no way to know what you'll do. You need a 16 or else it has a chance to escape. I hate that guy. I hate that guy. Maybe I shouldn't work him. Yeah, okay, hold on. Rise, just get ready. We're gonna try to finish our other jobs before we trigger that so people can go fight if they have to. Alright, I'll work there. Robert can work on the big boy censored. We'll need someone pretty strong to work on nothing there, of course. Actually, we can send Pixel up. He'll be fine. He's fairly close, counting the elevators. Like, if you're in this room, getting up to these guys is pretty easy anyway, so it's a nice kind of complement area. This room is pretty good at getting to the central areas. The records area is pretty good at getting to these guys. It's a nice overlap. So I have to start greed, but everything else is queued up. It's great. I mean, I could activate this kind of thing without too much worry, but I'm not gonna. We could just end the day, but that's for losers, giving up early, for quitters. I want to give it as much time as I can so the rest of the team is ready to go. I'm a little bit too far away there, so I'm still going to try repression because that's what his I-band helps with. Oh, he actually was too slow. Rides, you weren't supposed to go that way. Oh, man. I had a good plan, but the min-max micromanagement didn't work. I stand by my strategy to wait till the last second. I just didn't time it out perfectly. On the plus side, we have people mostly ready for Little Red, at least. I think we should prepare for the mountain as well, though. Okay, King of Greed, you're proving to be quite a pain in my sides. Alright, Little Red's out. She's real mad at somebody. Daubrey took a ton of damage there. The janitor just walks in, piled right on the ground there. Holy smokes. Yeah, to be fair, if Greed ever shows up in this room, if we can get out of there in time, it's not so bad, I guess. Let's see where he goes. Let's find his portal. Great. I doubt we're going to get a whole lot of damage done here, but at least some chip damage while we work on red. Got to keep an eye on this. But I think we're okay. Sending in mostly A-lift here seems to work pretty well on red. Okay, that's fine. That keeps black mostly covered. It might be best to let some janitors get eaten here. Sorry to say it. Wonder what happens if it tries to eat the bird. Also, John took some damage somewhere. I hate the fact that you can't actually fire your weapon here. Like, that's really dumb. You got one shot off. But, like, look at that. It just fails to fire. Oh, looks like another suicide. Sorry, Jean-Mathieu, it's not you, it's your gun. But that's kind of annoying. Now it's down here, another area that doesn't help us very much. Yeah, nobody here is even very good at attacking. Like, all my good black damage is way deep down in the base. But we have a couple white spears over here, so that's something. And the white spears slow him down. Let's get a little bit damage here, I guess. Is Jean on his way over? You gotta keep track when they teleport, or else you just walk right in front of them and get eaten. So yeah, you get the same thing here. Turkey trying to shoot, but not shooting. Yeah, that gets really old. This is why the game is not a micromanagement RTS. Because your characters aren't smart enough to move a little bit closer and get 3 shots. That's why, basically, whenever I'm ragging on slow attack speed, this is why. This is a great example of it. Oh, that's right. This gun actually takes your HP when you shoot it. I almost forgot. That's why he's always injured. It's not a bad gun. It's just, it's slow and anything that runs away is, well, it's like this. That janitor did not want to live. Well, I guess what I mean is if you want a game to be an RTS, like, you know, you're trying to make your game have micro sort of abilities, then you should really make sure you've got good control of your characters, is what I'm thinking. Alright, where is it? The worst place is if it's right there and there's just nothing you can do. Alright, well, it's taken damage. Alright, we're gonna send Robert after it. And Pixel... Where's Pixel? It's over here. Right, because we're trying to protect against the mountain. Well, I don't think there's any janitors to eat, so this will be fine. I'll slow it a bit. I wouldn't be surprised... Oh, wait a second. Pixel can't hurt it anyway. But Robert will do some real damage. It's too bad. He keeps being on a spot where I can't get my big group to him easily. And I'm lazy. Don't forget that. Anyway, looks like Robert's got it. You got this, Robert. I'll help you out a little bit. There we go. Alright, Greed. I gotta say, I'm not a fan. You gotta knock this off. Okay, so if we expect the Amber Dusk, we have to assume that most of our janitors will die. It's gonna be a lot like fighting a whole bunch of Greeds at the same time, to be honest. Except they die a little easier, I think. So it's good practice, right? Great practice. The question is, I mean, there's a lot of janitors still alive. Now, they're safe if they stay in these rooms, right? I don't think the Amber Dusk doesn't go into the big rooms, if I remember correctly. I think they stick to the hallways. I think. We'll find out shortly. So what are we working on? Faith has been getting a lot of training today, just because she's been in a convenient location. We've also been getting a lot of training on Jelka 2.0. Beep boop. Oh, we should send everyone back. I forgot. Although to be fair, we'll probably group up. At least like the upper team is going to all group up together to stay safe. The lower team we might be able to handle 2 at a time with 2 squads. We can probably handle 2 teams over here easily enough. So let's do some more training. It's all about them stats. Yeah, and our heroes, our top tier Aleph Gear people, don't actually have any need to grind out stats right now. They're all very near max in all areas, so that's kind of why we let some of the middle, low rank characters have a bit of fun here. like Jelka 2.0. And turkey. Why not? Cole can handle the wolf, right? Yeah, he'll be fine. Good stats, good stats. Alright, so we haven't messed up. Nobody's dead yet. Let me just quick scan. No dead employees. Okay, we've made it a long way with no deaths. We've even suppressed the bird. The new bird. Let's trigger one more. And then we'll plan out our dusk attack. Alright, so... I'm just trying to remember. We have seen this one before. Big worms that, if I remember correctly, the mechanic is they spawn just like Greed. Just like King of Greed. They travel to the end, and then they spawn some little worms. But the little worms just follow them. So they don't spread the little worms out, really. They just stick with the big ones. If you get in front of the big worms, it might not be as much of a one-shot KO as the King of Greed, but it's still pretty bad. So for the most part, you want to attack from behind unless you're awfully well protected. And I'm not even sure how much damage they do 100%, but I think the Greed is a one-shot for sure, and these guys might be able to survive a couple hits from the front of a dusk worm, but certainly not the newbies that much. So we want... I think we want all the newbies together, and we'll leave them in an elevator. It's probably as safe as we'll be. As far as the teams down here, I think the main spots will be these four and these four. Now, if you're in the middle here, you can get to... It's kind of a 50-50 chance. It just depends on what direction the worms show up. If they show up here and move inwards, you're good. If they show up here and move outwards, not so good. It's kind of unfortunate that some of this just comes down to RNG on where the things spawn. Well, there's Pixel anyways. Supposed to be down here. Oh, there it is. So I think what I'll do... we're going to have two teams, and I'm just going to leave them in the elevators on the side. Nope. Alright, well that's all for today. Future tubers, I'm taking a break. This video may never appear.